Welcome back to Tech by Pike. Today we're taking a more in-depth look at the new Razer Blade 17-inch gaming laptop for 2022. We did an unboxing video a couple weeks ago, and in that video we took a look at the chassis, we took a look at the keyboard, the trackpad, the screen, and the internals plus the I/O. And now that we're done with the benchmarking tests, we want to bring those results to you right now. But first, let's go over the review of the specs of this particular laptop. It comes with an i7-12800H processor that's 14 cores, that turbo boosts up to 4.8 gigahertz. Comes with the 17.3 Full HD 360 hertz panel. It comes with an RTX 3080 Ti that boosts up to 130 watts. That's 8 gigabytes of GDDR6. 1 terabyte of SSD, that's a Gen 4 NVMe, upgradable up to 4 terabytes. There's an extra slot on this laptop for more storage. And then it's got 32 gigabytes of DDR5 4800 megahertz of dual channel memory that's slotted, so it is upgradable up to 64 gigs. And then it has that per key RGB backlighting of the keyboard. So we want to take a look at our benchmarking, some gaming results and all that, and we want to compare it with some of the Razer blades that we've reviewed in the past year. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is the built-in 1080p camera. This laptop comes with Windows Hello, which has worked flawlessly so far for me. And here I am typing on the keyboard. Maybe you can hear it. There's no lag whatsoever in the video quality that I can tell. It's pretty decent, so thumbs up to Razer. We're going to test out the speakers here with some no copyright music off of YouTube. Let's turn it up. Gets really nice and loud. You can really feel the bass, and you got some high tenors there, so actually that sounded pretty decent. Razer Blade has their proprietary software called Synapsis, and under performance you can set the laptop performance based on what you're actually doing. So under the balance mode, you can control fans under manual here from low to high. You can also set it to silent. You can go to the custom button here and set the CPU on a boost and the GPU on high. And then over on the right hand side, you can switch the GPU mode from Nvidia Optimus to the dedicated GPU only. And just be aware that the laptop does require a restart if you set it to GPU only. Under the lighting tab here, you can also control the backlighting of the keyboard on the laptop and set it to different colors, different effects. If you have other Razer peripherals like a mouse, or maybe you have an external keyboard, you can also set the colors on those particular peripherals as well. We performed some screen tests with our Spider X Pro, and for Adobe RGB we got 79%, 100% of sRGB, and 80% of P3. So we started out our synthetic benchmarking with 3D Mark, and there's a number of benchmarking tools within that app, starting with TimeSpy, Firestrike, and then there's a ray tracing tool, storage, benchmarking, and a CPU. And we're going to go ahead and start with TimeSpy, where we got a graphics score of 12,428, a CPU score of 9,751, and then an overall online score of 11,936. And compared to average, we were just slightly below. We did also Firestrike, and we got a graphics score of 31,430, physics score of 21,949, and then a combined score of 9,434. Our score of 24,215 compared to online average was just below 25,860. We have a storage benchmark where we got 3,184, and you can see we have the drives here that are installed. And then for our ray tracing benchmark, we got a graphics score of 7,843, and we were below average, and the average being 7,992 compared to online. And then we have a CPU profile score, and you can see max threads down to 1 thread. And that was our 3D Mark benchmarking. We also did some synthetic benchmarking with Cinebench R23, where our CPU multi-core score got 13,560, and our CPU single core score was 1,826. We played a number of our favorite games, and the laptop was set on all high settings with the MUX switch switched to the dedicated graphics. All the games were set on high, and for Cyberpunk 2077 we were getting around 60 to 65 FPS on average. God of War, we got 138 to 145 FPS on average. Lost Ark, we were getting 160 to 178 FPS on average. And then Star Wars Battlefront 2, we were getting 144 to 162 FPS on average, which is really good. We performed some in-game benchmarking, leveraging some of our favorite games that we like to use. Shadows of the Tomb Raider. We used F1 2020, Red Dead Redemption, and Horizon Zero Dawn. These games were set on high, and the laptop would switch to the dedicated graphics card. For Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we got a max FPS of 280, an average of 182, and a minimum of 137. For F1 2020, we got a max of 243 FPS, average 222, and a minimum of 183. For Red Dead Redemption, we got a maximum of 126 FPS, average 83, and minimum of 31. And you notice here that the Razer Blade 15 with the i9-11900H got just slightly better, but probably to the point of you wouldn't notice. Horizon Zero Dawn, we got a maximum of 124, average of a 60 FPS, a minimum of 34. And I find it interesting that the Razer Blade 15 with the i9-11900H beat out the 17-inch laptop. But since it's an i9 versus an i7, that might have been the clincher for the 15-inch. All right, let's move on. Well, that's really it for the Razer Blade 17-inch gaming laptop here. The build quality of the Razer Blades are fantastic. I kind of wish they would mix it up in the design, but it's become a classic and everybody likes it and it's popular. So if it's not broken, why change it? So I get that. There's a lot of power under the hood for your AAA games. Got some pretty good FPS scores when those games were on Ultra. And the laptop was switched to the MUX switch, dedicated graphics. So that's great. I will say that there are other laptops out there where you can get some pretty good performance and not pay the premium price for the Razer Blade here. This one closed in at around $4,000 off the Razer Blade website. And if a Razer Blade laptop is what you want due to the build, due to the different features that a Razer Blade has around the quality of build, then there are some other options out there. I saw that the 15-inch with the same specs, other than the 16 gigabytes of RAM versus the 32 that we got with this laptop, came in around a few $100s less than what we paid for this one. Now, if 17-inch laptop is what you want due to the screen real estate, the 3070 Ti version of this laptop is another way to go, where you are saving probably around $600. That is a nice reduction in price for probably very little added performance if you were to get this one over the 3070 Ti. So there is that too. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from Tech by Pike, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it, helps the channel, and not only that, gives us an opportunity to bring more videos like this to you. And not only that, gives us an opportunity to get better as we go along, and we appreciate that. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.